Hello. How are
Hello.
you? All right. I am looking to make sure all of our stuff is going. Yay. Hi, Angela.
Magical.
So magical. The power of technology.
We're
Behold.
living in the future.
It is ridiculous. All right. I am just looking at some people logging on. We can wait a couple seconds and as people come on, but while we're waiting, you have a new book out. Congratulations.
Look, I'm so excited. This one snuck up on me. It tortured me and then banged me over the head. It's sort of like like a alleyway robbery kind of experience. Nice.
That's how they
Mugging.
do sometimes, though. You're a slave to the ideas, and then it just comes.
Right. Yeah. I was afraid I was going to lose this one because it came to me in October.
Hmm.
And, I think you have a little background in theater. I have a little background in theater. And one of the most dangerous things in theater was like a really good dress rehearsal. Because then you're always trying to catch the dress rehearsal. You're like, we got to do it like Friday night. Friday night was awesome. Let's do it like Friday night. So I did a couple books and thanks, Dallas. So I did a couple books and I wrote them over the holidays and then I published them in January and I did it 2 years in a row. So the third year when the holidays came, I was like, well, obviously I'll write a book. That's what I do at the holidays. Right. And then I ran myself over with my car, which was awesome, not awesome. And I definitely did not want to write a book. I was locked in my closet and miserable. And so the book, I was like, I did it wrong. I was supposed to do it like the dress rehearsal. We always write a book over the holidays. We don't do run yourself over with a car.
No.
So I never thought this was going to come out. And then when it came, it was like tidal wave.
The perfect transition, actually, because I was trying to figure out what exactly I want to ask you on this. I know it was, part to celebrate your new book, but also so that people understand the process that I went through and answering any questions they've had, because so many people in my community and so many of my friends, when they saw I put out a book, it was like, wait, really? People can do that? That's a real thing that people I know do. And so I've gotten some questions. I have 5 or 6 I want to ask you, but also for anyone watching, if you have questions, do pop them in the comments and we'll respond to those as well. I know I have a lot of people in my circle who are fantastic human beings who could really benefit working with Angela the way that I did. So if you have questions, let us know.
Nice.
But I do want to jump right in. I think one of the most amazing things for me personally, watching you and getting help from you and having you as one of my mentors is just how much you are in the action of getting things done. You don't just talk about it. And so many of my friends, and not throwing anyone under the bus because we all do it as humans, after my book came out, it was, I'm going to write a book too. I want to write a book. I have this idea about a book and it hasn't happened yet. And I'm sure they can and will get it done one day, but one day isn't a definitive anything. So you mentioned how you write several books over the course of things, and this was the one that really came out and you got done and you got out. So I'd love your advice for people who say they want to write or people who say they want to write a book. How do you actually get it done? How do you turn that thought into action? And what's the process that you really follow there?
Okay, I'm going to tell you, it's going to sound crazy, and I promise you this works. So the biggest thing I do is I am ruthless about my hell no's and hell yeses. So for me, all year long, writing a book over the Christmas holidays was a hell yes. I liked the idea of being someone who writes a book every Christmas and publishes it every January. Like, I just wanted to be that person. So it was a hell yes, it was a hell yes, it was a hell yes. It was a hell yes in March. It was a hell yes in September. It was a hell yes in October. It was really a hell yes in October because I did a lot of the groundwork to be ready to start writing it at Thanksgiving. And then at Christmas time, I got into a car accident and I didn't write the book. And at that moment, it became a hell no. It didn't become a maybe. It didn't become a when I get better. It was just a no. This is the thing. People accept maybe from themselves. They think maybe or sometime soon. Hi, Jamie.
Thanks, Mom.
So I think that people are fine with, I'm starting my diet on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are fine with, I'm going to start working out more after Christmas. Like, people are fine with maybe or in the future. I am ruthlessly hell yes or hell no. And what that means is the book became a no. It was just never going to get written. And I got okay with that. Really fast got okay with that. I don't know what it means. They're not going to take away my loved ones. No one comes and arrests you. I think we get more credit if we stay in the maybe.
Yeah.
But you actually, so much magic happens in a hell no. So then it just became a hell no. And then a month ago, on April 18th, I was in Vienna, Austria, with one of our authors, Nora Ganescu. And I was like, there's the book. It was just like, and it came back. And it was a hell yes. And within 7 days, the book was written. And within 30 days, the book was published. There was never a period where I was going to write my book. There was a period where I was writing my book. And then there was a period where I wasn't writing my book. And then I was writing it. But there was no, I got to get back into that. There was no beating myself up. There was no like, why am I not doing it? Maybe I should hire something. There's no fucking drama.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a no until it wasn't a no. And when it was a yes, I just did it. And I think that's when you can be honest with yourself, an honest yes or an honest no, you create space for so much more magic.
That's so true.
Much more magic.
Absolutely. You said something that touches on the next question I wanted to ask. The publishing world is changing. Mm-hmm. We absolutely know that. I think a lot of people look at it as the old model of you have to pitch your book to hundreds of publishing houses and everyone's going to say no, and then you're finally going to get a yes, and then you're going to get a huge advance, and then you're never going to get paid again because you got an advance. Mm-hmm. And obviously that doesn't work for authors. And you said something, it was April 18th, you said you had this thing finally as a yes. You wrote it in 7 days. It was published in a month. How does that work? How, with your publishing imprint, how have you really changed the model? What's possible these days? And do people have to go that traditional pitch a book, wait for someone to pick it up, get an agent, or are there other avenues now?
Yeah, so the first thing I want to say is there's no right or wrong way. It depends on your goals. Mm-hmm. For me, I was able to, my program happens to be $12,000. So I was able to, while on vacation, write a book and close 3 clients over Facebook chat. So that was $36,000 before I'd finished writing my book. And I did that by just sharing chapters of my book and parts of chapters of my book, along with pictures of Hungary and Croatia and Serbia.
I love that. Yep, that works well.
That's kind of fun. But I would like share a picture. I'd be like, hey, today I'm writing in Hungary. Would you like to read this chapter? And there were about 100 people who volunteered to like read my book. 3 of them became clients. So before my book was even published, which only took a month, I had already made $36,000 for my book. Now, here's another alternative. Perfectly good alternative. I could have spent 3 to 6 months trying to find an agent. Then the agent could have spent another 3 to 6 months trying to find a publisher. Then the publisher could have spent another year to 18 months publishing the book. At that point, I'm kind of over this book. Yeah. Like I have a life to live. Like I don't know how long I want to think about this book.
Mm-hmm.
Like this book is called Make 'em Beg to Publish Your Book. It'll tell you exactly how to get someone to publish your book, how to get a publisher to publish your book. But it's also going to tell you why you might not want that. Like you might not want to wait 2.5 years and sell people your idea for 2.5 before you make any money. Mm-hmm. Like I was still on vacation and I had made more money from this book than most authors make. And by the way, you also mentioned the advance. It is an advance of your money. So have you ever taken like a payday loan? Because they'll pay you your money in advance.
No.
Not a good deal.
Yeah.
And that is the publishing industry is the payday loan experience, the payday loan version of when you're an author. Mm-hmm. So you don't have, let's say you're a full-time author, you don't have a job, you can't go get a payday loan. You get an advance and they would be happy to advance you your salary. They're just going to keep 90% of it.
Yep.
So the only way you win with a traditional deal, really the only way you win, like if you've ever tried to like beat the house gambling, or you know how people will like game a pawn shop, like you bring your computer and then you're going to sell it to them and then you're going to buy it back and you have somebody else buy it back. Like this is basically, so you can game a publishing company, and here's how you win. Get them to pay you a $36,000 advance. Like, don't bother getting clients. Get them to pay you a $36,000 advance of your own money. Then if your book sells no copies, you probably, not always these days, but you probably get to keep your $36,000. You've screwed over the publishing company, so hope that feels good. Karma's a bitch, right? So number one, you screwed over the publishing company. Number two, you're not going to get any other publishing deals. And then number three, you haven't changed anyone's life. You don't have any readers. Oh, but you got your $36,000. Don't spend it all in one place.
Sounds fun.
Right. It's like, okay, so there is a way when people say you don't pay to publish, there is a way that you can game the house. Game the house, who loses? Your readers? Your future?
Yeah. And I think we're so well trained to trust old models just because they're the old models. Whereas, you know, I say, I absolutely invested in my book. It's, you know, something I'm so proud of. And now I'm going to be able to turn around and affect so many people's life just as I would with a business, because my book is my business. And as soon as you frame it like that, it's like, oh, of course you would invest in your business. Right. So it makes sense that you would also do it that way. And then you're actually making money from what you do and what you've created and how you're helping people. So,
and can you imagine how, like, instead of investing in your business, what if when the model for business, when people were starting a business, what they did is they hoped there was one guy in New York who would give them money to start their business. It was their own money back. And they would pay that guy $9 on the dollar before they made anything. So I'm just going to work for 2 or 3 years. I'm not going to take any money. And for every dollar you gave me, I'll give you 9 back. How many people would have successful businesses? Like, that would be a terrible way to run your business. Like, what? It's awful. And then that's what we expect authors to do. Take a really bad loan and then don't make any money until you get them to pay back. So it drives me a little crazy. There are some reasons to use a traditional publisher, which is if you already have a huge audience, if you've got 1 million YouTube followers, and you're just looking for a way to pick up some extra cash and to leverage that audience, and you don't have a lot of time, that is a really good reason. So if you have if you get cast in a reality TV show, consider a traditional publisher.
Cool. For all of my friends. There you go. Wanted to respond to a couple comments. Janetta Hott, you are the ultimate digital nomad, so loop in with this lady here. Thank you, Joel. And Jamie, you're so right. Everything does change so quickly in that time frame. So actually getting the ideas out that you want at that time is so crucial.
Right. Like 2 years later, like, what was I saying the whole time? Like, especially how fast things are moving now.
Absolutely. Which is my next, you just keep giving me the best transitions. Thanks so much, Angelo. My next question.
Knock them down, mama.
You are the queen of so many things. Not only do you have the publishing imprint, but you churn out content like no other. You coach. You're an amazing mentor. You have all these programs going on that are built to serve people and built to help people bring their ideas out into the world. So what have been the key pieces of your work that really and truly contribute to your business? What are the game changers? And what are the things coming up that you want to keep producing because you know they have the most value?
So less is more. I really focus on my favorite thing, and I try and put 80% of my marketing effort on it, is promoting my authors. So a few minutes ago, so I hire a PR firm, but their job is to get PR for our authors. So we just got a pickup from Good Housekeeping. And last week we got a really nice pickup from Success Magazine. So my favorite thing that I do, I love our red carpet launches. It's a chance for our authors to come and get dressed up, and we make videos with them. and we're creating content with them.
And it's so fun.
And it's so fun. I think it's like, that's the whole key. If you're having fun, it doesn't, I mean, it definitely does not feel like work to dress up in a ball gown, have an amazing stylist, have an amazing photographer. The photographer who comes to our events, her name is Jen Reed. She is a mom at my kid's school. And Jesse, my son, who's 11, has been with her son Henry since pre-K. And she also happens to be a National Geographic photographer, which is handy. But it's like I get to hang out with friends and authors and dress up pretty, and we're creating a ton of content for them. And that all just creates word of mouth that leads to my clients. But I really I'm doing it a little bit with this because I'm so excited about this book and I want to get the word out. But I really don't generally promote myself. I love promoting my authors, sharing their posts, sharing the magic that they're making in the world. So that's why I do it.
That's cool. And it's always great when you then get to work with the people that you love being around. Like that's what this gives you the freedom to do, is choose the people that you would want to just hang out with all the time anyway. And they happen to be fantastic at what they do. So.
And then I end up hiring half of them. My stylist wrote a book with us. My financial advisor wrote a book with us. My CFO wrote a book with us. Their books are like, so my retirement planner is Mary Sturck, and her book was like, are you ready to pull the retirement trigger? Then Lee is my stylist, and her book is called Strategically Suited. And then my CFO, her book is called Your First CFO. So whatever I need, I just do a book on it, make sure I like that person, and then hire them.
You put out good work. Yeah, we'll do this. That's too funny. So with Author Incubator, which is the platform you use to help all these authors, what's next? Where are you moving toward? What are your big goals? What do you want coming down the line?
So the big vision, this is like 5-year vision, is to move from the Author Incubator to the Authority Incubator. So we've been working really hard on putting teams and systems in place so that we can do the podcast incubator and the magazine incubator and the video incubator and the website incubator. So really expanding the number of services that we offer to experts. So that's kind of the big vision. In the short term, we have a really fun reality TV show that we're working on. So we have, we've got a great producer, and we are filming a sizzle reel on June 15th. So look for that. And each week I'll be featuring a different one of our authors or experts doing what they do with me being super mean to them.
Can you say empire from Jamie? Sounds like you're kind of building an empire there.
It's the Author Empire. We'll change it from the Author Incubator.
I love it. So closing thoughts. What would you just really love to make sure people know? If there's someone who your vibe attracts your tribe, absolutely, Jen.
Why are you not my friend?
She should be. You guys can talk. I'll look you up afterwards. Jen's a powerhouse. It's insane. But for people who are kind of what we talked about at the start, people who are sitting on ideas, who are mulling about, who haven't taken action yet because they're scared and they're in their heads, what do you want them to know?
Yeah, the answer does not lie in figuring it out. And what I say is, like, if you jump in and do it wrong, this is one of my many lessons from weight loss. Brooke Castillo, who's my coach. Oh, yeah, she ordered Strategically Suited. Yay, Allison. Lee Hayward is amazing. So this is what Brooke said. Brooke said about weight loss, be willing to suck. And I learned so much from that because I definitely wanted to get weight loss right. Like, I was overweight and I wanted to lose weight. I didn't want to gain weight. I didn't want to not lose weight. I was totally unwilling to suck. And when I dropped that, when I was like, oh, I'm somebody who makes mistakes and learns from them. Like, oh, I'm somebody who's curious. I'm somebody who's willing to fail fast. Like, I'm somebody who is open to learning from in different ways. Like, so the best thing that ever happened to me was writer's block. The best thing that ever happened to me is overeating. Byron Katie says, I look forward to being raped again. Like, I look forward to getting cancer again. Like, she says these things and it's like, why would you look forward to that? But that's how I feel. Like, I look forward to making mistakes. I look forward to failing. And it sounds crazy until you do it. But once you realize, like, nothing bad happens, you actually learn a lot. You move so much faster when you fail than when you're trying to get it right. Trying to get it right gets you nowhere. That's failing. Putting something out there that has at least a 50% chance, if not a 90% chance of being wrong. Like, I just tell all my authors, like, it's guaranteed to be wrong. Let's do it anyway. Like, your first book is going to be your worst book. Like, let's do it anyway. Like, Brooke has an amazing blog post that she says, sometimes your worst is good enough. Like, this book isn't good enough, but it's going to change a whole bunch of people's lives. So that's good enough for me. Like, I could work on it for 16 more years and it helps no one. To me, that's failure. Or I could put it out. I'm sure there's typos. There's a couple things about the flow I don't really love. There was one chapter I had to cut that I kind of wish was there. So I could spend another year trying to make it perfect, or 2 years or 3 years. And then the idea moves on. I don't even care about it anymore. And it hasn't changed in anyone's life. Or I put it out knowing it's going to be imperfect, and I just embrace the Japanese call this the wabi-sabi. So I just embrace the perfection and the imperfection.
I think that's the really key point, is when you sit on something, it can't help anyone. And I know that that's how I've really felt about my own book. Is there's a million things I would go back and change. There's so many things I've learned in the year since I've written it that I want to pour into it. It's like, I have new things for you guys. But me saying I don't like it, or me saying, I don't want to do it anymore, that would be such a disservice to the people who have emailed me telling me it has changed their life. And how can I not put something out there when it has the ability to help? So
the only way to not do it is ego. If you're truly serving people, if you're truly coming with a servant's heart, you have to be willing to suck.
On that note, I love it. Thank you so much for your time. That was amazing. Definitely going to hook you up with some of these people that have been living in the comments.
For sure. I'm going to show my book one more time. Making Ready to Publish Your Book. You can get it on Amazon right now.
Awesome. So go get it on Amazon. Make sure you grab it. Make sure you read it. Angela's books are always super simple, but packed with information. So it's not going to be something that you're like, oh my God, it's so much. You're going to love it, and you're going to breeze through it, and you're going to learn what you need to know. So thank you again. And I really appreciate this. And
bye, everyone. It was great to see you.
If anyone has any questions, let us know.
Bye.